Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Marcia Hilton, aka Marcia Unbound. I'm a freedom-focused nomad who helps women fund their dream lives abroad with preparation, strategy, and skill. And if you're new here, this space is all about helping Black women move abroad, work remotely, and actually enjoy the lives they build for themselves there versus just surviving them. So today's conversation is one I've been really looking forward to because I'm all about what she's about. And we're talking about soft life abroad, not just in as an aesthetic, but in a way that's intentional, an intentional way of living. I'm really excited to have Rashidat here. She's a lifestyle coach helping Black women balance their goals with rest. And her message is exactly what we need, especially right now, especially in this time. We all need to hear it. So I won't say too much, though. I'll let Rashidat introduce herself. So welcome, Rashidat. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I love it. It's always a good time. So, yes, I'm all about helping us turn our burnout into alignment. Because when we turn our scarcity mindset and all of those things and stop letting those things control our life, then we can actually plan our joy like we plan our success. And that
Ooh,
allows us to live our best life. So I'm looking forward to having this.
I want to hear that again because I've never heard it
Yeah.
put that way before. That really made my skin. Okay, plan our joy like you plan. I wasn't even planning on pausing there, but wow, that's powerful. I hope you use that somewhere. I'm not even kidding. Because I
I'm
was like,
starting to use it.
planner, all about success and plan joy. What was that? So that I'm
Right.
sure to a lot of people. But I know you got a lot more to say. So before before I go into the questions I prepared for you, um, before we dive into all that, there's one thing. Is there one thing that lately has been bringing you peace, maybe joy, or I don't know, made you really deeply exhale? You're not waiting to exhale; it's making you exhale. Is there something you can think of?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? This year, my word for the year, and here's the funny thing, we all pick like a word or a phrase at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And then usually by this time of year, we forgot about it. And that has not been my case, So this year, my word was magical. And I added a statement to that to make space for this year to be magical. And I think
Okay.
that's so important for us as women, whether we're going abroad, whether we're staying in the States, but when we come to that mindset of creating rest,
Hmm.
the hard part for us is when we're doing all of this moving, we want to like buckle down and get stuff done,
Woo.
right? And it's like this whole physical movement of like pulling everything in. And I've been in this space where things are not like necessarily happening as I planned. But then it's like my hands are open and I'm just like, whatever's going to be in here, whatever's going to stay is going to stay. And magical things have been happening. Like I came to Los Angeles planning to do one thing. Instead, I ended up touring tiny houses. And anybody that knows me know I love a tiny house. And then going to an amazing conference with Rachel Rogers. I wasn't even planning to be there. And then spending the week on the beach, like I wasn't even planning to be in Long Beach. And so just making that space and understanding that if I keep trying, the harder I try to work, the less things happen. If I actually come to this with a heart of magical, like openness,
Hmm. Hmm.
amazing things can happen, allows us to receive a lot more. So that's where my spirit has been lately.
Magic, magic. And the word that came to mind for me when you were saying all that is flow. It just felt like this
Hmm.
release, right? Wow.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
okay. We haven't even started yet, and you got all this powerful stuff coming at me. I don't know. Try to stay on track, but
Love
girl.
it.
Okay, let me keep it together. So our topic today is
Hmm.
soft life abroad, what Black women need to unlearn. And you kind of hit, okay, to actually enjoy that. Listen. All right, so that's what we're talking about. So let me start with a little bit about you, like really
Hmm.
definitions and unlearning. Okay, so let's start with your journey. What did soft life mean to you before this phase of your life? And how has that definition changed for you?
Yes. So when I think back to when I was living and working in corporate America, soft life for me looked like I don't want to have to come up into this place when I could be out there, when I could do my work just as well from out there as I could from in here. I
Yeah.
felt really locked into like, okay, wait, we went from getting a summer off in college to barely 2 weeks off in this corporate job. And it was the same monotonous thing day in and day out. And as a creative, my former career was in fashion design, and I'm still a creative now.
Oh,
I just use it different ways. Yeah. I was like, this is not creative. This is like overrated paper pushing.
sounds
And I
like it
was
was
like,
mind numbing to me, but yeah.
hey, and not only that, like I worked for corporate, and here's the thing, I chose it, but it felt like the next best thing. It felt like the right thing to do at that time, even though no one really told me that was what I had to do. I felt pressured to do better than my family before, and like to get a good job, and pretty much this pressure to live the American dream. And then when I was like, you know what, I actually I want I want lifestyle freedom. I want location freedom, and I want to start figuring out how to do that.
Mhm.
That's what it was. That's what I wanted. I used to call it more. I didn't have words for it at that point. It was
Yeah.
just like, I know I want more than what I'm doing right now. And I have no idea what the heck that looks like, but I'm willing to go find it. I'm willing to go figure it out. And that led on a hell of an adventure, girl. I don't know if you're ready for all of that, but it led on an adventure.
Well, we've talked about offline before. We talked about the perspective of being children of immigrants, or in my case, first
Mhm.
generation, and so that thing that goes on in our heads around that. So I am with you. All right. So
Yeah.
what's something you have had to unlearn once you started pursuing the life that you have now, a life that's about ease and less burnout?
Girl, a whole list of things. I had to unlearn the employee mindset, the worker bee mindset. I had
Okay.
to unlearn being strong all the time. I had to unlearn trying to be everybody's superwoman. I've had to unlearn scarcity mindset, because scarcity is what makes us, oh, I'm not going to have enough money, so I got to keep working hard. I got to keep proving myself, because that's the only way I could keep my space, which then put me in a perpetual mind of proving. And these are all subconscious things. It
Yeah.
wasn't like I woke up every day and I was like, I got to prove
I
myself.
got
But there was this tension. There was this tension that I was never enough. And so I had to learn, like, what do I decide is enough? Because at that point, it's like, well, who decides what enough is, and
you.
how can this stake in the ground stop moving? The only way that stake in the ground stops moving is if I stop moving it. So
Mhm.
I had to decide, what the hell does enough look like, and lean into that.
Yes, I'm with you. I hear you. And I bet a lot of people listening, they hear you too, loud and clear. You said you did not have the words for these things, but I promise you, you have found the words that
No,
hit.
I
'Cause
have them now. Yes,
like
I didn't have them then. I got them now.
none to add to the things you say, because I'm just like, yeah, girl, thank you for saying it. Yes, you got them now for sure. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You're gonna
Yes.
help the rest of us find the words too. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Okay, let's talk like about cultural patterns, because you know those are in place, right? I mean,
they
they're
are.
whatever people want to call them. There are cultural patterns and sort of a resistance to, I don't
Yeah.
know, to making adjustments around that, right? And there's reason and there's history and there's a lot behind that. But let's talk about what we can do now, or at least let's talk about what it is. So a lot of Black women
Mhm.
feel like we have to earn rest or joy, which you kind of said in so many words, I guess. And where do you think that comes from, and how do you personally push back on that?
Yeah. Well, also too, you touched on like the external forces. So there's American culture, and then you also talked about, being first generation. So like my father is Nigerian, he still comes back and forth, and then
Yeah.
hearing him in the back of my every time I talk to my father, he's like, "Did you get married and have babies yet?" And I'm like, "That's not the point of my life." That's all he cares about. He doesn't care that I'm trying to build a business. Like he doesn't care about the impact that I'm passionate about. He cares about, have you made babies so I can hug my grandchild before I die? That's what I'm dealing with.
I bet a lot of us get that. So
Right. And there's so many of these pressures. Or if you've already had kids, it's like your kids are like, but I need you to be this for me, and I need you to be that for me. Or if you're married, your husband needs you to be this. If you're a daughter, if you're a sister, your family, all of these people that you have roles to, they're all like, but I need. And it's so easy for us as Black women. And I think it was very much passed down from being a mammy during slavery and all of the other, like this, these are generational things that our bodies knew, that we are not just fighting to unlearn in ourselves. We're fighting to unlearn it in the things that were passed down to us. And to say, while I understand that's how you helped us survive, our culture, even though it's evolved and had to change based on the things that have happened to us in the States and in Africa and colonization, we had to uphold those things in order to survive. But now we're at a place where we get to move past surviving as a culture and start thriving. And so we have to start being intentional about, okay, I understand that's what it was before. But I'm going to say, I want to try something different. I want to look at this differently. I want to have a different mindset about it. So while my my mom, who is now 80 years old, doesn't feel like she has anything to give unless she's hobbling around trying to do things for any and everybody. My mother can't not make food for you. I don't want to be that person. I want to be something different. I want to not feel like the only reason I have value is because I'm doing something for you. I want to know that I have value because Rashidat woke up this morning and the devil said, oh shit, she's awake. That's what I want. And the way that I do that is by showing up fully as me. But you got to take those things out and learn how to center on yourself before you start, so that everybody else gets the overflow of your cup and your cup doesn't get down to empty.
this is me. Who knows me knows I'm never speechless.
I love it.
Go ahead. Wow.
Just keep talking.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know where to go. Girl, I'm glad I'm talking to you. Because okay, there's this thing, this is an analogy I give sometimes. I talk about a piano having let me stay on track, but let me give this, 88, typically 88 keys, and how my coaching clients, right? And how everybody, and for whatever reasons, there are a lot of good reasons, right? Everybody comes along and they play the same one key, whatever that, not even one of the other keys, they play that one key at the same rhythm and pace their whole lives. And they're playing that one key. And why are they playing that key? Because no one asked why, or can I play another key? Or just not even asking permission, just play. They don't play, they could be playing a symphony, they could be playing some wild keys that don't play anything at all. They could be choosing these 10 keys over here and playing them. But everybody comes along and chooses that one key at that one tempo their entire lives. And a lot of people do that. I think the majority of people do that. And they're afraid to question, why is it only this key and why is it only this tempo? And I think everything you just said is exactly in line with that, because you're like, wait, I see all them other keys. I do. And not only do I want to tap around on them, I want to create my own symphony. I want to just jam on that, So I love that. I love that. And I love that you are giving other Black women permission to do the same, just by advocating the way you are, just by using your voice the way you are. I mean, like I said, you're leaving me speechless, and that's not something that happens very often. So, okay. When you think about your clients or your community, what patterns do you see? Like, what are we still carrying that makes it hard to fully relax, even in places like when people go abroad and stuff, places that are designed for peace? And I say that because I just got back from Mexico, and sometimes I interact with people who seem to really have a hard time with that, even though they're in this other space where I could observe was like, it's all about life, man. Right? So,
Yeah.
what is it that you're observing? What is it that you're seeing?
I think it's a couple things, especially when you have been doing. You're like, wait a minute, you want me to just be? I don't even remember how to just be. Like it's literally a detox, a
Mm,
work detox, a doing a detox that has to happen.
mhm,
And I think if we're not intentional about that and about noticing the change that has to happen in us when
mhm.
we get to that point, it's really easy to be like, the world must be coming to an end because I'm not doing anything. And it's, I know I'm being a dramatic, but it really
No.
feels like that within us. It's
Mhm,
that anxiety that comes up, and you're like, what is that lump in my chest? It's it's everything in you that has told you to work is being forced. You're being forced to look at it in the mirror and say, oh, wait, actually don't need that. I get to take that lump
mhm,
out and let it unravel. And it takes time, it takes intentionality, it takes a relearning of yourself to say, who am I without those things? To finally be like, oh, I think I like this. And I think I might want to continue to do that. So I think that's the first thing.
okay.
Okay. I think the other thing is we've been in hustle culture telling us you need more. You need more. You need a bigger house. You need a newer car. You need to get this for your kids. Your kids can't go to work without the best shoes. You can't wear, they can't wear his last year's thing. You got to put your mom in the best nursing home. You have to do this. You can't just let your sister be out there with her hair like that. You got to do whatever it is. Like we've been taught to uphold a vision of Black excellence to set us apart for
Mhm,
so long that when we actually go to somewhere else where they look different, where we could be different, where we have the space to reinvent ourselves, we're like, again, I can't even imagine what else I would do. Like, I have to get a chance to really step back and look at, well, wait, if I don't, I didn't even realize that I didn't have to do those things. That's first of
mhm,
all. I've been doing it so long, I forgot that I didn't have to do those things. But now that I remember, what do I actually want? And it's scary to be 30, 40, 50
mhm,
years old and being like, wait a minute, I don't know what I want. I feel like I should know this by this time in my life. It's scary to admit that I don't know that I don't really know who I am, or I don't know who I'm becoming, or
mhm,
even who I want to become, because I've been in this trap for so long. And that's the other thing. Sometimes it's like a clear box trap. You're moving around in that box, but you don't even realize it's a box because it's clear. Until all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, those boundaries aren't there anymore, and it takes us on this journey, and so then we get somewhere else. This is the other thing that I've learned personally. Okay, we think it's the job, so we quit the job and we get another job. That job sucks too. We get like
mhm,
the honeymoon
mhm.
phase at the beginning, and we're like, oh, it's better, and then we're like, wait, it's not. And so then we're like, okay, well, it must be the boss. I need a new boss. So then we leave that boss and we get a new boss, and we're like, oh, it's better. And then next thing we know, wait, it's not. And then we're like, okay, well, if it's not the boss, it must be the career. I got to change the career. Okay, so then we get a new career and we're like, yeah, it's better. Okay, no, actually, it's not. And then we take it even a step further. Okay, it must be working for the man. I just can't work for the man. I got to do something else. And then we leave and we become entrepreneurs and we're like, oh, it's better. And it's still not. It's still not. You're still working yourself to death,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
You're literally now burning yourself out on your own dream because you didn't realize this the thing was you, boo. And I
Mhm,
say that in love. We can fix that.
mhm,
But that's the other thing I think we should also know. Yes, that's hard to admit, yet That is the best thing to admit, because when you do, it becomes fixable. We can't change all the exterior systems around us. We can be a part of the change, but what we can definitely change is everything within us and how we move within these systems and how we help break them down. And so then once we start recognizing those things, it takes recognition. Then we can start changing things and doing things different. Girl, I got a whole, you see what I'm saying? I got a whole thought on this.
Again, let me just say one of the things I think people struggle with, I guess it's like anything else where people are changing. That transition period feels unnatural, very difficult, brings a lot of anxiety. And so people push back against it. They revert back to what was. And everything you listed, by the way, everything you listed, I'm like over here like, oops, that was me too. And that was me too. So you know us. You know us. You have studied us. Maybe too much, because I don't want you to know that much.
But it's all love. It's all love.
I know, it's all love. All right. So when you think about, wait. I think I already asked you that. See, I'm lost now. Okay. So let's talk about real life softness. Okay. Let's talk about that. So what does soft life actually look like for you now? And how would you help someone else determine what that can look like for them?
Yes. I think first and foremost, there's so many I actually have been seeing more and more like of these bougie women that got the lace fronts and they all done up and they're like, my husband, and I'm not mad. If that's what if you want to rely on that in order to live your soft life and that's the only way you can get it, that's your vibe. But I would say soft life is more accessible to all of us than what most people think, because that soft life starts in our mind. If you're starting with the exterior stuff, you're going to go out and get your nails done. You're going to go out and do all the massages. You're going to go out and buy the new car, buy the new house, get in a bunch of debt, feel like you can't stop working because now you got all these bills to pay, and do all of these things that are external because you didn't recognize that it started with healing the pressure inside of you that said, the only way that I can ever be soft is if I prove to everybody else that I deserve it. And it's this scarcity. That's a scarcity mindset. That's not just proving. Let's actually talk about that. That is scarcity. We think scarcity is just around money, but it's not. It's around us thinking that we're not enough. That's a clear way of, we talk about, I want to believe that I'm enough, but you're living like you're not enough when you act like the only way that someone can accept me is if I work 10 times harder. The only way that I could be accepted is if I wear a certain kind of clothes. I want you to learn how to live life in a way that when you put something on, you put it on because of joy.
For you.
Not because for you, not because you're worried about what somebody else is going to think of you. Not that. I don't want you to move to another country because you're proving to everybody else that I could do whatever I want to do. Who cares? You should do, because you should do what you want to do, but you shouldn't be doing it because you feel like you got to prove it to somebody else that you're amazing. Well, you were already amazing. Let me clear the secret up. Like, you were already there. You just didn't believe it in yourself. And all of that is the way the scarcity mindset is showing up in the way that we live our lives. You say that you're enough. Let's talk about how you live your life that you are enough. And when you live your life like you are enough, that's when you're actually soft living. That's when it's okay to be vulnerable. That's when it's okay to be soft and feminine. That's when it's okay for you to be living in flow, for you to be nourished, for your life to be centered on you, for you to be fully cared for. That's what I believe, that soft life looks like.
So what I hear you saying is know your why. Like, what is motivating you? Because even when you're doing the other stuff, the house, the car, the career, what are you doing it for? You mentioned about yourself, like doing it and you're hearing all these voices saying this, cultural stuff saying this. And so those were the motivators, not really, they weren't internal. So now the lifestyle stuff, soft life decision, like why are you choosing the country you're choosing? Why are you
Right.
choosing the hairstyle you're choosing? Why are you choosing the whatever it is you're doing? What is it that's driving you to do this? Is it other people's opinion? Is it
Yeah.
other people's motivation because someone else is doing it because it'll look cool because you're showing off with somebody, right? I've
Yep.
seen that with I've seen that. I'm sure all the ways you listed, but I've certainly seen it with marriage, and I've certainly seen
Mhm.
it with I've also seen it with what countries people choose because there are other people
Mhm.
there and not looking hard enough
Mhm.
at that country and whether or not it really fits their needs, without
Mhm.
looking at that. So
Yeah.
that girl, you go hard, all in love, because we all no, seriously, this is the important stuff.
Mhm.
All right, let
Mhm.
me ask you, what are some of the soft life myths you've encountered or had? Well, you know what? I think you just hit on that. I think you just hit on that when you talked
Yeah.
about what people are doing to call that soft life. So, for someone
Mhm.
who's listening, who's still caught in the cycle of overworking or just doing too
Mhm.
much, what's one small step she can take? Maybe just this week, a small step she can take this week to start softening her life. What do you have for her?
Yeah. I would say you should be able to give yourself at least 1 hour, just 1 hour. So I'm
Okay.
gonna say take 1 hour, okay? And from that hour, I want you to get a notebook and I want you to write down what are all of the things, or if you have it on your calendar, you could do it this way, print out your calendar and look at all of the things that you have scheduled on your calendar. And if those, whatever things are for you, I want you to put a number one.
Mm,
Whatever things are for someone else, I want you to put a number two. And then I want you to go back and use some emojis. And if you like doing this thing, and I need you to be honest with yourself. This is for you. This ain't for me. So don't be telling somebody you like doing laundry when you know you hate doing laundry. Stop playing. Okay. Don't lie to yourself, okay? Because I'm not going to believe it, and neither are you. So go back and look at those things. And if you like doing it, put a smile next to it. If you don't like doing it, put like the straight line face where you're like, I'm doing it because I have to. And then look at the rest of the things. And if you don't like it, put a frown on it. See how much you are actually enjoying. Okay. And it will just give you a little bit of an idea of how much you're actually centering things on things that centering your life on things that bring you joy and make it time for it. Because remember, I told you, I'm about helping people plan joy, how they
mhm.
plan their success. Now, that's the first thing. I'm going to give you a second thing. If you're like, I'm not ready to sit down. I can't sit down and take the time to write that whole list. That was like the hour exercise. Here's the 2 minute exercise. I have a quick assessment, 2 minutes, 9 questions. Go in there. It's answer the question. You're going to say red, yellow, green, and 9 different uh, areas. And that's going to help you see where you score when it comes to being close to your soft life or like being close to being burnt out. So that's 2 different resources that you can try to get yourself, how do I start taking steps and seeing what's missing? Those are the ways that I would say.
Those are powerful. I especially like the first one because you create a visual and it gives you
Mhm.
a lot of clarity and feedback immediately. Even listening to it, I'm
Mhm.
like, that's brilliant. Okay. If you listen, if you see this video and you know people who need to see this video, you better be sharing it
Come
because
on.
those aren't tips, those are tools. Those are
Come on.
seriously. Uh, yes, okay, so let's get to where people can connect with you, honey, because nobody needs to be missing connecting with you. All right. Where can they connect with you to work with you to take the next step if any of this, of course, it resonates with them. Okay. Anything that you share does resonate with them and they want to reach out to you. What is a good place for them to go? And I know you'll provide what I need and it'll be in the description here, but you can still go ahead and give somebody something right now.
Yes. So the link for the assessment, that's at bit.ly/soft life score. So bit.ly colon no, not colon, sorry, slash
Slash.
SOFTSCORE, Soft Life Score. Sorry. And we will put that in the description. Then the other
Yes.
way is I have all of my links so that you can see like, oh, this is the thing that gives me this, it gives me that.
Yes.
Just go to bio.yourdreamstrategist.com. Even the assessment is there as well. And you can always find me on Instagram at yourdreamstrategist.com. That's the same handle on all the different platforms, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, all of the things. That's how you find me.
And you want to go there. Do not miss. Do not walk, run. I don't feel like I have to say it. Like, if you're listening to this and you got this far, you are already looking for that. I know that. If you're making these changes and making these adjustments in your life and finding joy, you've already pulled up something on your browser. You're already looking at it. I know those people. I've worked with those people who are intentional.
Yes.
So you're doing that already. We know you mean it. Okay. So if you're hesitating, let me just tell you, go ahead and do it. All right. So thank you, Rashidat.
Yes.
And thank you to everyone who's tuned in. If this conversation spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also go to Rashidat's YouTube channel and like, comment, and subscribe. You don't want to miss anything. Keep us out for real conversations like this one, more of those. I'll drop Rashida's information all in the link, along with a couple of things of my own that you'll find helpful to help you build the version of your life that is a soft life on your terms, motivated by your why, your reasons, your needs. And that's all that matters, really.
Right.
So you can take care of it. So thanks again, Rashidat, for being here and for providing us all these wonderful, powerful, that's the biggest word here, tools that you've given us to help Black women take their lives from where they are now, just surviving, to thriving and living in joy. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.